What do we do if we just have one candidate and it's over after 2 minutes?
Well, speaking from experience, the last one in the last election, we also had just one candidate. Okay. But this one candidate was pitching his idea, and then 3 other people were like asking questions, giving suggestions on how to maybe improve it, or also bringing things on the way. Let's say like, I want you to open source this, for example. This is a requirement, and I want you to commit to this. These kind of things, I think they can happen in the first round. It's not just, I think this being a productive process where we can be like, give feedback on the idea in general and also think about improvements.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like, I was happy to like in the first round that I had with, in the first trial, I was actually with Chris Barnes, and he was like completely new face for me. And he had this idea, and a lot of the things that we talked or told him, he later then was realizing, which felt really great. For me, this was like a great experience. I don't know, can we maybe give a chat message to Kingsoft?
He was moving a few seconds ago.
Was he also the one that started the recording, or was this you, Friedgar?
No, I didn't start it. I just started it now. So the second one.
Okay. Okay.
So he is alive, I think.
Yeah. I think he's freezing at all times. He's freezing audio and then reconnecting.
Yeah, let's type a bit. Have a look in the chat.
I think he's not, I don't see him blinking. He's not blinking.
Yeah, freezing.
Now he's moving.
A little bit, slowly. Yeah. He's moving. Nope, you cannot hear us. Maybe you have to fix your audio. I don't know what kind of audio. Okay. Sometimes it's how.
He's reading the chat. That's good. So it would be good to know if he wants to be a candidate and if we have like a direct competition between you both.
Still not. Can you still hear us? Not hear us?
Well, we can also chat with him on. Maybe what we can do is like connect to him on Telegram, because we have his Telegram handle, and then I can link him on a Telegram call, maybe his audio.
But I think he heard us, so he was like, I don't know whether I want to be a candidate or not. But he is still muted. So for sign language, should we use English sign language? Yes, because I can only do French.
Okay, I would say let's give it maybe 5 minutes. I just texted to him on Telegram. If this is the Kingsoft, there found so many Kingsofts on Telegram.
Do I have to be a member of Eden if I'm a candidate?
From my understanding, you don't.
Well, I applied, and I don't know. I'm still maybe in the process, or
let's make the quick ceremony now, quickly. I don't know that.
What's your EOS account? We can invite you tomorrow. Friedgar.
Yeah, oh, sorry, one typo up like this.
Okay. Okay, noted. Me and Lucas, we're professional inviters. So,
Okay.
send you
Meanwhile.
one tomorrow. So you're in France or somewhere else?
Somewhere else in Europe.
Okay. Okay. Kingsoft said he lost audio and continue. He asked us to continue without him. Let me get back to him once.
Well, he can still type, or I don't know, or use his mobile.
Well, I can put myself on loudspeaker and have a Telegram
Connection
call
to
since
Telegram.
he can at least. Yeah, I could do this. I don't know if it's allowed. I just asked him if he wants to be a candidate.
If that works. I do some talking, so you can test the connection.
Yeah, wait.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Who will review the recording?
Well, I'm not sure if anyone is ever reviewing this. It's more about the proof that something really happened.
Yep.
So if I would dispute something, or if Lucas disputes something, we can go back and say, hey, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it goes viral because it was so funny that we couldn't go it run, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a sec. He's just texting me, and if I call him, then I can switch off my fan. And disconnect. Can you say something?
Yes. Hello, Kingsoft.
Hello.
I need to call. Okay.
This is minute 26 of the meeting in room number 4. Please hold the line.
Yeah, this is an interesting point. Did you guys understand how the voting works? And
Yes.
did you all have access to the Google file?
Yeah, we have access to the sheet.
I already entered my name to the sheet.
Okay.
So we're done with voting.
My name, huh?
Ah, I see. In room number 4. Okay, yeah. Good idea. So there are only 4 rows. There should be more than 4.
Okay, so that's it. Oh, you just overbroke me.
Oh, sorry.
Race condition.
Fine, it's fine. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. It wasn't on purpose. We should use an alphabetic order. Doesn't work here.
Okay, I think he says it's too messy. He doesn't want to make a mess, so I think we can continue, unless you guys need to wait more.
But how much do we need? 2 or 3 votes for the winner? No.
Well, we need to build consensus.
Yeah.
Right.
But
pretty easy.
Okay, so I would like to be a candidate, and I would like to promote a different communication product instead of Telegram and Google Sheets and so on. I well, it's all about metrics.org. So this is a federated chat system that also allows collaboration. And you can imagine chatting, but like doing email. So instead of everyone has to be on the same platform, in email, everyone chooses their own email provider. So you can choose your own metrics provider, and all these providers connect to each other in a federated way. And thereby, you know where your chat history is. It's with your chat provider, matrix provider, and everyone can choose their own. Well, if you chat with each other, you share the history, that's obvious. So you share it between the two chat providers, but it's not centralized in one place. And so I would like to, well, use the money to host a server, a matrix server, so being a matrix provider, and enable EOS users to connect with their EOS name. So it is about authenticating to the matrix server with the EOS name. So you would sign a message with your EOS name and thereby get access to the EOS account on this server. Does it make sense? It's like authenticating for your email provider, but here we talk about chat provider.
Right. Well, first of all, I really would love to have a different chatting tool. Telegram is the worst for me. Like scrolling through the waterfall of messages is really not helpful. But do I understand right that the only thing that you're using is the account? There's no other connection to the blockchain?
It's not even connected to the blockchain. It's about...
That's what I mean.
Yes, yeah. So it's only about authenticating using your EOS name.
Okay, okay. And
how is this benefiting us?
Well, you have a new, a better way to communicate, decentralized. You do not rely on the Telegram company to run their servers, but you can choose your own service and connect to it, to the matrix.
For example, we have already SenseChat. Do you know SenseChat?
SenseChat?
SenseChat, yeah.
SenseChat. I heard about some years ago, but I haven't followed what they're doing at the moment.
Me neither, so I can't say. I just know that it's a chat application on EOS. I tried it, but they are progressing very slow. So I just tried it once and I didn't follow or catch up to the developments.
When was the last time you checked?
2 years ago or so?
A year ago, I think so. 1.5 I checked, yeah.
Shall we check together?
It was not so convenient to use at that time. They had to improve a lot in the user experience. Yeah.
So they did a little pivot into, I think, a year ago, and I think they're still developing. It's now chain agnostic, and the token has more utility, but it's still really not many users or anything like that. But they're still developing from what I know. But this is about Matrix, like Matrix, the movie, or Matrix like...
Connecting.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Will it be encrypted in a way?
Yes, it's end-to-end encrypted. Using your own algorithm.
Right. Have you looked into what Dan is doing with Clarion?
Clarion? No, I don't know.
Okay, because like it will be very hard to sell a messenger right now, because like that's what Dan is working with his team, and it will be basically the infrastructure also for EOS, because there's already like a validation system on it, and it has a faster consensus mechanism than blockchain. So it's not on blockchain. It's basically something like yeah, it's hard to explain. It's basically like do you know Bridgify, where you have like everybody is their own node and you transmit information through nodes, and therefore have like
okay,
pretty interesting decentralization. So that's what he's working on, and he has a whole development team on it, and they're also involved in building this out for EOS, for Eden. So I see a little bit of like
competition.
Yeah. And also the founder of
but we have 10 years if I get voted.
The founder of ScienceChat is in the Eden community, actually. Yeah? So
Ben.
You could talk to her.
For me, the question is whether we need this, what kind of consensus we need if we chat. So is it really necessary to come to a consensus? Well, Matrix still has a consensus who is saying at what time. It's more like Git. So you hash each other messages, and if you have branches because someone is offline, afterwards you merge it. Mm-hmm. But do we need to validate outside of our chat group? Does the global community need to know why, when we exchange what messages? That I would see is the purpose of a blockchain, where you have global consensus on it. But maybe so what was the project? What's the code?
Clarion.
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 Okay.
And
but it's not related to the voice.
No, it's not related to voice at all. It's more or less like doing something that's different than voice. Because like the way voice went in like having KYC and being like super compliant, Dan had an issue with it, I think, and then he came up with alternative solutions and came up with Clarion. And
it's something like IPFS, but just shared in another way, that some people has just their local communication on their phone, something like that.
Yeah.
But I understood.
Like Scatterbot.
I think that when you ask about why do we need consensus, I think for him it was more about like the history and the past. That it's censorship resistant and immutable. So
yeah, okay.
What point do you provide that? Does Matrix provide that?
Yeah, so you have hashes of each other, the history.
Okay, that's great. And when you're talking about like every person can choose their own email provider or chat provider, how do you deal with like when some provider is blocked? Let's say I'm in China, right? And then everybody's using Google. Can I still communicate with them, or is there a disconnect?
So what do you mean is disconnected? So
I can access.
Well, you can still talk to other nodes or service providers, like you can send an email, but if the email provider in China is blocked, then you cannot send an email to them.
Okay, so I cannot use your Matrix with people that are using their Google provider.
I don't really understand the question.
Well, if everybody on your platform is connected through their personal choice email provider, right?
Yeah.
If people choose Google, and Google, every Google service is blocked in China by default, right? So if we have a group discussion and I'm in China and I'm not using a VPN, will their messages be still available for me because they're kind of like distributed through other users that are on other platforms, or is this conversation for me not accessible?
Well, if Google wants, if China wants to block a Matrix, well, they can only block all Matrix communication. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to communicate with a certain with Google services, it's a choice of the service provider.
Yeah.
So if I'm with a service provider in China and they decide they want to block the Google server, then the user of this China provider cannot talk to the Google.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But would Matrix help you circumvent that?
It's a decision of your service provider. So you agree that it's blocked.
Yeah, every service provider that in China is by the government forced to block Google.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my question. Is Matrix a tool to circumvent that? For example, you can run your own service. You can mirror.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So you have everyone can run your own service, and so Matrix, they exist in implementation that runs even on your client. So they have merged the server and the client together. So you would have a huge peer-to-peer network of it. Okay. So, but if you choose a service provider that blocks a different service provider, then you cannot talk to them because you chose a service provider that did so. But
yeah,
you're free to. Sorry?
There's no choice.
Yeah.
I cannot choose one that doesn't block it in China. So
you have to run it on your own.
Okay. Okay.
But if that's not a choice, then you can't.
Well, I'm criminalizing myself doing that.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
So but the issue for the US community, currently there's a disconnect in this regard, because like we're like the Chinese US community, we are like on WeChat, and the Western community is on Telegram. So it's really needed to have something that's kind of connecting them. So if you would be able to solve that, that would be a big plus for you. Another thing that
let me say, so so the service provider can choose to block the Google service provider.
Yes.
But then you have 200,000 other service provider. You can still talk to them between each other. So it's just this one node that is out.
Okay. So
does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me try that. So I'm in a group chat with people. Some use Hotmail, some use QQ Mail, some use Google Mail. The conversation of those that have Hotmail and Google Mail, they would exchange it, and I can access from China Hotmail. It's not blocked, so I could see through their provider the messages that they shared with Google. So it's basically like.
Yeah.
Sag mal auf Englisch. Basically bound another service provider to your service provider.
Yeah, it's like a peer-to-peer network, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
In which stage are you? Is the project right now?
It's in production. It's used by the French government. It's used by the German army, I think, or at least. So there was some project last year that is used in Germany as well. So it's all open source. It has a standardization process. You can make proposals. So this is on the protocol level. And what I, as a project, would do is run a server that is accessible by EOS members.
And what is your role in the project?
I'm following the project for a while. I contributed a bit of Android code for Android Auto. I made proposals from time to time. I'm not an active team core member, but I'm an advocate, let's say, but just in my spare time.
I see.
That's cool.
And I did this kind of authentication with a different blockchain, so a different user name system. And yeah, I think everyone who owns a name should benefit from it. And so yeah, I would use the funds to pay for the server, running the server.
How long do you think you can run it with?
With 10 years, I think a month.
No. You need to win. Usually when I'm in the first group with someone, they need to win. That's my goal. So
yeah, so if I win for 2 years,
okay,
I
with
think
2,500 euros you can run it for 2 years.
Even longer, I guess.
Okay. And besides being a chat tool, an email tool, you can also, like, let's say, cooperate on documents. Like
Yes. Yeah. So there are different ways. It's not email in that sense, but it's a real-time communication. Yeah, more chatting, like not like email, but so it's really real-time communication. You have video communication. You can make a video call, group call. You have, well, you can choose your client. It's a protocol. And you can choose how to connect to the protocol. It can be just a terminal type connection, or you have a full UI with all the features where you can also integrate widgets. The main core team is developing, it's called Element, the client. And you have Android clients, you can choose what you want. And in addition, on the protocol level, it's general. So you can, there's currently, the main first project to extend this above communication is with document writing at the same time. So you exchange messages about changes on the document. And you see this then in the UI in real time.
Okay.
So maybe a bit what Weave was, the Google Weave protocol, some time ago, years, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. But yeah.
Cool.
So it's a general protocol that can be used for for collaboration. Yeah.
Can you integrate other services than just messengers into it? Let's say like a translation engine?
Yeah, so you can, your service provider can have additional logic. One one big task at the moment is building bridges. So you can decide that your service provider also connects to WhatsApp or to Slack or Discord, and then you can talk between groups of the two or of many different platforms.
Okay.
But you can have a group chat where you also talk to Freenode users, or you have a different one where you also connect to WhatsApp. So that's possible. And then in addition to that, you can have bots, and they can translate messages or create calendar events. Or that's already possible. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay. That's one thing where WeChat is so much better, because it translates always every message with one click into your system settings.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Super helpful. Well, yeah, you got my vote. Not that I have the choice.
Yeah, my too.
Cool.
If you need more funding, eventually you can try out Pomelo.
Which one?
Pomelo. When is Pomelo starting?
Come again?
When is Pomelo starting? Do you know?
Yeah, Pomelo.
Like this?
Come again? Yeah, Pomelo.io.
Okay.
It's basically Gitcoin. Are you familiar with Gitcoin? We built Gitcoin on EOS, and it's called Pomelo.io. The launch will be in, I think, beginning of Q4 this year.
And what do you mean you built Gitcoin on EOS?
So basically, it's quadratic funding.
Okay, but it's not connected to Gitcoin.
No. It's a funding on our own. It's running on the EOS blockchain. It verifies on the EOS blockchain. We also run a reputation system on top of it. So basically, the more social if you have linked, the more people vouch for it. If you're an Eden member, it also gives raises your trust score. So basically, it's your funds and your if you support a project, it goes a longer way, if you will. You know, so we try to build in some civil attack protection into this. So these kind of things. We got funding for that from Block One directly. And we are building it out. And there's the landing page already where you can see a short description, and we're bringing out more product. Like basically, we have different phases, different steps where we introduce the functionality a little bit in the next 2 months, and then we go live.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, apply for it. So definitely.
Yeah, I use Gitcoin for some work as well.
Yeah, I think it's really great to have these kind of like it's something where a project can already rally a community around it, and then it becomes a like collective success. You know, it's way better. It's way more interesting to develop a project with the community than just like talking behind closed doors with VC funding. It just like creates a different culture.
Yeah,
you know. So I have high hopes in that one. But again, like I would love to continue to talk to you, but if you want to make it in the next round, you should definitely look into a little bit what Clarion is. So you can pitch in this direction, or say maybe even like try to connect Matrix and Clarion, or contribute in any way there.
Yeah,
would be just an interesting conversation. I don't know with who you will be in the next round, but you know,
yeah,
would be interesting. So
okay.
I go into the document. Oh no, everything is deleted.
What is deleted in the vote?
Yeah, my name is gone. All our names is gone. We're breakout room 4, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So
is it capitalized F? No, right?
Sorry?
It's not capitalized F.
No, it's does it matter? Yeah, I think okay.
Mm-hmm.
I should rename it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. Then good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Wish you success.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Nice.
Good.
Bye.
Bye. Good talking to you. And we joined the main room again, yeah?
You leave the breakout room, yes. We can leave the meeting.
Okay. I stopped recording.